Good evening, everyone, and welcome to DJNTV's Boston John's Record Roundup. I am Boston John. Nice to see everyone here tonight. Thank you. I like the theme music. That's excellent. Thank you, man. Checks in the mail, sir. I didn't know we were going to get some theme tunes. I'd like to welcome all of our guests before we say hello to our sponsors. We'll just go in order as I have you on the screen here. Hello to New Hampshire. Eric is here with us tonight from New Hampshire. We've got Georgia Lina Matt that's here visiting us.
Hey.
We've got recording engineer and commander Howie Darkstar at the helm tonight. Nice to have you here from parts of Pennsylvania.
Regions unknown.
I can't disclose his whereabouts.
Another region.
I'm telling people where he is.
Whitsack.
Bill DiOrio from 617 Events Boston. DJ J. Brennan from Temecula, California. And the legend, the man, the myth, BSR from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We cover everybody. And Lori is watching us in the wings, so hello to Lori. Nice to have you tuning in. So this is the Record Roundup. We bring some artists to the forefront that may have been forgotten or have fallen so deep in our crates that we don't pull them up anymore. So we take a second and get some of the dust off of those tracks and bring them back to the forefront and get them back in rotation. So before we get started, just a quick mention, just like to thank our sponsor, www.com. Eventplanner.com is the longtime sponsor for DJNTV, so we thank them for helping to make these shows possible.
Thank you, DJ Event Planner.
DJ Event Planner. And we're going to take it around the room. I'm going to lead off because I forgot myself last week. I was going to go last, and in my excitement, recording has stopped. Oh, no.
That was the week before.
Was it? All right. So we're gonna get myself in this time.
Yeah, get in there.
And then we'll give everyone a chance. So something very, very special happened on New Year's Eve in Seattle. And if anyone keeps up with current events, two longtime battling sisters made amends and decided to start a tour this year.
Yes.
For the first time in many, 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 many moons. Mm-hmm. So I would like to suggest for our Record Roundup tonight, I'm going to recognize the band Heart.
Nice.
Yep.
It's back in play. Ann and Nancy have made up, and they said they're going to make it cool and not just rehash all their hits. They're not doing this for a cash grab or just phoning it in. And I've got from Setlist FM. I don't know if you guys use that as a tool for websites, but you can basically look up any concert anywhere ever and see the songs that were played.
Oh, wow.
So I have the Heart concert from New Year's Eve. This was December 31st. This just happened on our clock 2 days ago, but when this video airs, it may be April, so who knows. So I have the set and the encore, and I'd just like to read through some of what, if you think you would attend seeing Heart, because Ann Wilson still sounds fabulous, by the way.
Yes.
Amazing voice for many, many decades, and I've had the greatest hits and everything from the old records going back. They opened with Baby Lestrange.
Great track.
Moved it up to the 80s. They did Never. That's track 2. Okay. Love Alive, which I'm not familiar with. Roll the Dice, which I'm not familiar with.
Oh, I know that one.
Love Alive is a great song too, by the way.
They said they're going to deep dive, and they're not going to do so much of the hits. But, well, when you see what the hits, when we get a little further down the line, you'll say, oh, that was a great show.
The album tracks are good.
This Is Now, which was a Trip Sitter cover. So they said they're going to occasionally throw in some covers and some random. You know that Ann's a big fan of Zeppelin, and she can belt like Robert Plant. We'll go Magic Man, Little Queen. Then they did a mashup for track 8. They did Straight On For You, and they ended up breaking into Let's Dance from David Bowie halfway through it.
Ooh, wow.
Which is very interesting for Heart. I was like,
yeah,
okay.
I would love to hear that. Yeah.
I would love to hear that. These Dreams. Then, of course, we get to Alone, What About Love was a combo. They did The Ocean from Led Zeppelin and Barracuda to close the show.
Nice.
Then the lights went out and they came back. And of course, they hit us with The Battle of Evermore, which was another Led Zeppelin, which she does beautifully. If you've ever heard that, I don't know if it was ever studio done, but I have a live recording of it. That's pretty awesome. Crazy on You as part of the encore, and then she sang Old Lang Syne to close it up at midnight. So that was so Heart is back on the map.
Great show.
Heavy 70s rock, the Barracudas and the Magic Mans is where we knew them. They had that reemergence in the mid to late 80s. They kind of had that Jefferson Starship pop sound like everybody had with, if you know what I'm talking about.
Alone and
Yeah.
Run to
And I just recently cleaned them up in my catalog, and I didn't realize that they kept putting out content and product till probably about 2016, 2017. So there's even some additional records I chased down just because it's a fabulous band, so talented. So my pick for the week is Heart.
nice.
I'm surprised.
Last time I saw them live was when, or knew that they did anything together, was that Kennedy Center Honors for Led Zeppelin during the Obama administration.
Sure.
They did Stairway to Heaven and they were on stage.
She sang Stairway to Heaven, and she sang that beautifully. They had the big choir behind them.
Killed it.
That's definitely worth a watch on YouTube after you get through
I
this.
get teary watching that.
So did John Paul Jones and Robert Plant.
And Robert Plant.
They're like, oh my God, this is better than we ever did. But
and Jimmy Page. Yeah.
And Jimmy Page. It was touching for all of them to be acknowledged. So we're going to continue around. So everyone gets a chance to, did you have something else on Heart, Eric, or go ahead?
I was just surprised I didn't have All I Want to Do Is Make Love to You on that set.
Not there?
That was just a neat story, the whole song. I kind of liked it. But anyway, whatever.
Yep.
So,
As I
move
say,
on.
they hit what you would expect to hit, but as again, they're going to rotate the track list and keep making it interesting because they don't want to do
Eric
it.
likes songs about cheating.
I do.
All right, we're going to go to we'll go to Eric next. Eric, what do you got for a pick for us this week?
All right. My pick this week is one that I think we've all forgotten about. And it's in a crate somewhere. We just don't know where it is right now. In fact, this would fit into Brian's new wheel game, the synth pop. But I think his category was synth pop 80s. And this was a 79. It went to number 2 in the UK charts and number 1 in the Billboard Hot 100 in November of 79.
Here, okay.
Pop music? I don't know. What is it?
Oh my God, you're killing me, Brian. Forget it. You ruined it.
Seriously?
Brian, you're ruining this whole family.
Yes, you guys can throw notes around.
What could it be?
How did you get that from that dude?
79 synth pop? Yeah, dude, come on. Don't be
Oh
stupid.
my
You
God.
sank my
I'm sorry,
battleship.
continue.
Yeah, so what was the song, Eric?
Oh, well, let's all guess. It was pop music, M-U-Z-I-K. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God! But
M
it was
Factor.
on. It was on. I think I can still see the 45 in my head. It was a yellow label. I think it was MCA or EMI.
We got that a lot on Kiss 108. That was in rotation almost as much as disco was when the sounds on the radio were starting to change to this synthy stuff that was coming in from.
It was like a silly but irresistible song. You know, I still dig that song, actually.
The artist was M. I couldn't name you another
It's
song
M.
for them. That's truly a one-hit wonder, unless Brian has a flip side.
You know who M
It's
is?
M Factor.
Robin Scott is the one that actually created M. He was the one that whoever he is, but you know, from New York, London, Paris, Munich, everybody talk about. Don't make me sick.
Yeah, but no, we'll try not to. Between that and Carlos Gary Newman, those were the two that were on all the time.
So much for my choice. I'm going to rip
Good choice.
Brian ruined
You're going to in flash paper next week, so you can just go poof. Just goes
always
into.
next week. Happy
No,
New Year.
excellent pick and a great track. I haven't played that in a long time, but it is in my, and I'll have to check. I don't know if it's in my
It's
70s
in
pop or my
somebody's
80s
crate.
pop.
Trust me,
79.
somebody's great. You just have
79.
to dust it off and try it.
Super cool. Georgia Line of Matt, what do you want to give to us for a pick this week?
Oh, there it is. There it is. Brian's got it.
Oh,
Pop music. And
Pop music, there it is. Oh
Great
my God.
song.
That's the 12-inch, isn't
Great
it?
album.
all 12 inches. M Factor is
Oh, yeah.
the official name, but everybody just called him M.
Ah.
And yeah, pop music.
that baby went on to swim in Kurt Cobain's pool.
Oh, maybe. Maybe it was like 40 by the time Kurt Cobain's pool came
Yeah,
out.
probably.
Right.
All right. So we're rounding up some older stuff here. Something that might be worth dusting off is I was looking through Madonna's catalog a little bit.
Nice.
An album that came out in 2000 called Music with the title track Music. That can always be a good one.
Hey, Mr.
To-
JJ put a
to go
record
toward.
on.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Felt the correct
Yes.
Felt the correct.
Runaway Lover on there. Amazing. Nobody's Perfect. Don't Tell Me What It Feels Like for a Girl. Paradise Not For Me. Gone. So
Don't
10
tell me,
tracks.
actually kind of has like that country line dance feel to it. I don't know. It has that kind of like that Man I Feel Like a Woman groove from Shania a little bit. What do we got here? Oh, hey, look, Music Madonna. Brian's got that too. He's the
Hey, there we
muse
are.
for the show and tell. He's got all these records.
All right, sit down, Brian.
I don't know if I bought that one on vinyl. I was surprised
That would be a fun game one day. Like we all go through our picks, and
And he's
then
gonna pull
we
out the
just see
album.
like he's doing now. Like if he has the album to pull up.
Yeah, until
You
Jay
won't
goes,
have Anthrax.
Jay goes Uriah Heep, and that's the end of that game. So
Yeah, there goes that game.
Yeah, really.
Sorry, everybody.
Yeah,
it doesn't really
he
fill the
has
dance floor.
no. Oh yeah, there's not a lot of Soundgardener back there. So
It was nice having Madonna back from music. 'Cause the only thing we had from her before that, if I recall, and Brian, you can attest to the dates. 99, 2000 was the Austin Powers movie, and we had that beautiful
Beautiful
stranger.
Stranger. Yeah, that
And
was
I
really
thought,
nice.
I just thought she was going to do this throwback to psychedelic, and then all of a sudden music hit. I'm like, oh, she's back on target again. She's
My favorite one that she did, and I've talked about it before on here, and it's on the same album as Music. It's a track called Nothing Fails, and it's a real lackluster track, but I think it was Peter Rutherford remixed it, and it's gorgeous. Nothing Fails, the Peter Rutherford remix, is one of my favorite Madonna songs, and I think it hit around 2003. Absolutely amazing, and I have that back there.
excellent. We will have to
That
check
was the
out
last
after
great
class.
Madonna song, in my opinion.
I remember skipping it on the record, but if there's a remix, I'd be interested in hearing what it
The
sounds like.
remix is amazing. Like
I really
one of
like-
my favorite tunes.
I like 4 minutes a lot too with her and Justin Timberlake.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that's
I
not
think that's a
bad.
good one to kind of pop in and out of.
There must have been a lot going on the radio at that point, because I did get that, but I didn't really give it the traction it deserved. That just didn't really.
It's a deep club track. I don't think I've ever played it for an audience, but I just personally really like it.
It's never
a
been
real
anyone's
deep club
on anyone's. Yeah, it's never been on anybody's must play. You got to play 4 minutes, but
Right.
doesn't happen.
Somewhere there's a drag bar DJ going, I play it every week.
track.
Hi.
Because
Yeah,
Brittany's
Well, hello
lip syncing
out
it on stage, so I play it.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, that's it. Absolutely. Let's bounce over to Bill D. What do you want to dedicate to us tonight?
So this one actually is a little bit of two-sided. So I'm going to go with Queen, one of my all-time favorites. Although I never got to see Queen with Freddie Mercury, I did get to see Queen with Adam Lambert, one of the best concerts I've ever seen. And one of the cool things, as a guitar player as well, I've always wanted to see Brian May. I think Brian May has incredible talent. I think there's a lot of great songs there, a lot of great riffs. But story broke this week with Brian May that I don't know if a lot of people know. He's an astrophysicist.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he actually helped NASA get the samples from this last asteroid that came back to Earth. And part of this was he has a book out now. And this book is all about this asteroid, which is kind of a whole side note to music, but they did a great interview with him. So in this book, you get a pair of glasses that go with it, and it's a double image. And when you look at the image, it creates this 3D image, which allowed NASA to figure out where to land this thing and get the samples and bring it back to Earth. And one of the coolest things in concert that I really loved was when he was in concert. This was the first concert with Adam Lambert. They came to Boston. I actually ended up getting tickets on the floor, which were supposed to be pretty good, but they turned out to be amazing. It was his birthday, and his son was there. Sorry, not his son. He was playing there in front of me, and then they had the drums up front, and then they had the drums in back, and it was him and his son. But Queen itself, there are so many great songs that people kind of forget about. And one of the great ones that happened was like Radio Gaga. Great song that they bounced back with. And we're going to go with B-sides. I Want It All.
You got to make Brian get up again. Yeah.
I want it
We'll
all.
get it,
Yeah.
Brian.
You know he's got Radio Gaga, so
I have it. I mean, but
of course you do.
I Want to Break Free. I mean, these are songs that the show must go on.
Great song.
the late stuff.
And these are all B-sides that a lot of people, you know, everybody remembers Another One Bites the Dust or We Will Rock You or Crazy Little Thing Called Love. But what was the B-side on those? You know, I Want It All. Mm-hmm. Those were some of the greatest songs that came out that so many people forget about, and just you go back and listen to Bicycle, Queen.
I think the flip side of the 45 was Dragon Attack. It was on the because I got that, and I think about the 45 of Flash too, because that was kind of on a compilation.
Oh,
that
that's
wasn't
right.
on
That was a
Another good
hard,
one.
yeah.
right? Yeah, and that was and that's like all the ones you mentioned are all later Queen catalogs, so they were just hit machines on from jazz and Night at the Races and Night at the Opera. It's all those records that just spun constant rock radio staple hits. With the opera. So I guess that would make Brian May a rock starologist, because he landing on asteroids and getting samples. Yeah.
Touché. No, that was a great story that broke this week. There is a book out from him, and it looks like a pretty cool book. And I saw the news report, and it brought back all kind of that back memory of going to the concert with Adam Lambert. But one of the things I loved the most about the concert is they honored Freddie Mercury throughout the entire concert. So Adam Lambert wasn't trying to be the headliner. It was I'm the guy that's here singing with this amazing group, and I love that.
I'd be curious when they got to Bohemian Rhapsody and they went to the backing track for that middle section that you can't reproduce live. Did they play the part with Freddie singing? And then
they actually did a hologram with Freddie.
Well, I'd say that's super cool.
It was intense.
That's neat.
I saw him with Paul Rogers, and they had the video from Bohemian Rhapsody on that vocal section.
Yeah.
Then the band came back out to an explosion when it went down to normal music. But yeah, they totally were like, yeah, this is not something we're going to do live. As far as the ability to sing it.
No, I don't think they've.
I mean, the disco does a good job of that one too.
That's just hard. That's hard to pull off live, even with.
Oh yeah.
You have 4 people on stage, and you need to make it sound like 30. That's only so much you can pull off with technology.
Yeah.
No, super good pick. Love Queen. Fan forever, and I'm glad you got a chance to see him out. To try to catch him with Lambert when they come around.
I'll tell you. Well, the funny part was when Roger Taylor, they brought him out front, so they had this extension out to the floor. He was out front, and his son was in back, and Roger would play, and then his son would play, and Roger would play, and his son would kind of outdo him. And he just looked up, and he just rolled his eyes, and it was like effing kids.
Yeah,
it was just really funny.
Super awesome.
Now, now that you brought Queen up, can I just bring something up, Bill? Because you said you're
sure.
Why is it? And I never understood this. Whenever they played like "We Will Rock You" on the radio, they always followed up with "We Are the Champions." But not everywhere you go that happens. Like not every station will do that. Is that?
I'm thinking it's more time.
"We Will Rock You," I think clocks in at like 2:20 or something. It's short.
It's very short. Yeah.
So they followed up with the "We Are the Champions," which is
Album Rock did that.
But
that was News of the World. That was where they first landed.
But when you put them both together, you're at about what 5.5, 6 minutes, and a lot of times they want to bump a song at 3.5, 4.
But Album Rock didn't care, and that's where we got that.
Yeah.
Same place we got Eruption. You Really Got Me.
Sure. Yes.
Or Feeling That Way, and Any Time That You Want Me. Like you'd always hear those back to back.
Play a long time.
8 minutes.
Yeah, it just goes on and on.
What's the one with Jackson?
The Cars did it too. What was it? It was it All Mixed Up, Moving in Stereo? Were the two they always did back to back?
Oh yeah, they dropped them in.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was together on the record. That just made sense to.
Yeah, it was all
those together.
Mixed together.
Heartbreaker and Live and Love and Made. You never heard one without the other.
Yes, exactly.
I totally forgot about that.
Yes did that too on Seen All Good People, and what was the other one?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
People and
something not Roundabout, the other Runaround. Was it Runaround?
Seen All Good People.
No, kidding.
And what?
Wasn't it
it's Captured. Da 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 da.
Yeah, Seen All Good People, but then the next
Seen All Good
track
People will be next. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I gotta say,
bring back Ryan. That's a great song.
In my 40 years, I've never dropped both of them back to back ever. I don't know why. It was either one or the other.
It would feel weird to play We Are the Champions without We Will Rock You.
It would. And if at the end of We Will Rock You, people are ready to go like, I paid my dues. They want me to sing it. It's right. And you're going to leave them hanging otherwise. What are you doing? It's missing something. It's half the story. You need the rest of it. Let's kick it over to Howie Darkstar. Howie, what do you got?
Howie, what do we got?
All right. Thank you, Eric.
See, Bacardi's kicking in.
My pick is from a band from my ancestors' hometown of Swansea in Wales.
Uh-oh.
And it's actually a sad story. It's Badfinger, and they did songs like Baby Blue, No Matter What, Come and Get It.
Come and Get It was big, no matter what.
Day After Day. Yeah, we played a lot of these songs in our cover band. But the sad story was this manager, Stan Poley, had given them a $3 million advance. And he ripped them off. Ooh. And the label, they actually wound up selling 14 million records. Now, this is after they two of them killed themselves because the manager absconded with all the money. And the record company wanted the advance back. They couldn't pay it, and they became destitute. And sadly, two of them hung themselves. But they put out some really good music.
Howie, what year was that? Do you know?
Yes, they were formed in 1970, and that album came out in 71. And it was at
$3 million in 71 would probably be 10 million today.
Astronomical amount of money.
Yeah, and they did it at people. It was the Beatles that were a big champion of them.
Yeah, McCartney wrote "Come and Get It," I think, for them, and that was
yes.
a gift. It was just, it wasn't Beatle enough for to be a Beatles song, and it was kind of a throwaway, and he gave it to them, and of course it charted and hit it, became a #1 song. So,
with George Harrison's first solo album, I believe it's This Too Shall Pass. All of the musicians on it, he's got, Peter Frampton plays on it and a few other, but the core band he used was Badfinger. They play on every single track.
Yeah.
So I think they weren't on the Beatles Apple label?
Yeah, Apple or Capitol, right?
Were they on Apple?
I thought they were on Apple, yeah. Like they were going to be the next Beatles in the eyes of some people because they had the same sort of vibe. And like how he says, their manager just screwed them. And it's a real tragic story.
I think they
very
were.
tragic. Yeah, I watched the documentary. You can get it for free on YouTube. And it's just, I mean, they're so talented and just pleasant to listen to. It was really, pleasant to the ear.
Yeah.
Those are the songs that you had mentioned. A lot of those are still in the cocktail crate and can be played through dinner. That's Badfinger.
Absolutely.
Specifically, Come and Get It. And what was the other one?
No Matter What You Want.
No matter what.
That I gave my love to you. What was that?
And
Day After Day.
Another one, Day After Day.
Baby Blue is in a lot of movies and stuff too. So.
Baby Blue might have even been in Breaking Bad recently. That was, and then I think No Matter What was listed, but I don't know if that was theirs or Gallery had it first. I know Gallery got the hit single with that one, but
it was in Breaking Bad because of the crystal meth was blue.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
but no matter what, always sounded like the Beatles, though, didn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If you close your eyes, you
got that vibe.
That's Beatles, right?
Yeah, it's got that Beatles swing for sure.
Yeah.
No, good pick. Like that one, Howie. Let's go to Jay. Jay, what have you?
Well,
thought?
I'm gonna regale you with some fun facts very quickly. First fun fact is that when Bill saw Queen and Roger Taylor was playing with his son, what Bill may not have known is that Roger Taylor's son is the drummer from The Darkness. So that's fun fact 1. Fun fact 2, I was speaking with someone on, what's today? Sunday, who saw Heart last week in at the Palm Springs show. Like they added 2 shows here and then they did Seattle. So these were like their warm-ups. And they said they were amazing. They, for a fan, they played the best songs. For an outsider, it was a little confusing. Like Keep Your Love Alive is off of Queen. like their second album. And
Mm-hmm.
if you hear it, John, you'll be a fan, like out of the gate. But they did like those type tracks, like the tracks
Wow.
that aren't fans would listen to and just be like, "Oh my god, I love this song." "Baby Lestrange" is not a massive hit for them,
No.
and that was their second track or first track.
And I
But
imagine they'll change that up. Like maybe they'll do Dreamboat Annie sometimes when they
Yeah,
start, or something
they'll start going around.
minstrelly stuff, you know?
Yeah. But she said, the lady I talked to said that Jason Bonham, you know, he did some of his stuff from, who was he with? Hurricane in the 80s? I think he was in a band called Hurricane.
Was it Hurricane?
I didn't
Yeah, I think you're
I
right.
caught up with him. He was with Sammy Hagar. He was with
Well, Sammy
Oh, no,
now.
he's done
Yeah,
that
he's
now. But
playing
in
with
the
Sammy
80s,
now.
he was the drummer
Circle.
for another band. I want to say Hurricane. And I'll fact check that. But she said he did a ton of Led Zeppelin because it's now the Jason Bonham Led Zeppelin experience. It's not just Jason doing some of his dad's stuff. And he did like a thing of Moby Dick, but on the video screen, they had his dad doing it. So they kind of synced it. She said it was really, really good. And on August 5th, if you're in Boston and you got nothing else to do, you can go see Heart because they're playing on August 5th.
Where?
They're the opening act for two other bands I've never heard of, Journey and Def Leppard.
Oh, those two guys.
So
Yeah.
if those bands are any
Those two,
good,
they're all
Must be
washed up,
local.
those bands.
I'm just thinking if you're going to spend a night, it's probably going to be at Fenway or Gillette. I mean, if you got nothing else to do
That's
to see
Gillette.
Heart,
I'm thinking Jay may want
Def
to take a trip to
Leppard.
Boston on August 5th.
I'm just thinking.
Oh
Now,
God, these
it-
Boston guys are starting to go now.
As far as the well, hey, you know, you didn't pick the Lorraine, and we didn't pick the Lorraine and Shirley thing. You know, that's
Lorraine,
that's your
Lorraine.
whatever.
So close. Lorraine and Shirley.
Hey, if I respected, I'd say Laverne. I didn't. I ran a little diss there. I am actually going to bring up an album that I know for a fact Brian doesn't have.
Fenway, Jay.
Yeah, I figured it was Fenway or Gillette.
You want
and-
tickets?
This is, maybe. This is an album. This was my first album by this artist. And next week, if you can believe it, next week on January 10th, it'll be 1 year since he died. And I'm referring to the amazingly great Jeff Beck.
Mm-hmm.
Can't believe it's been a year. And I'm going the album that I first got called Wired, which is very kind of jazzy fusion, all instrumental. The bigger tracks that are known off it are Blue Wind and Lead Boots. It's only got 8 songs, but it's even under listing, it's listed as rock, jazz fusion, funk, instrumental rock. So, you know, are you going to get much call to play this out in public? Probably not. But if you ever get the fan at a gig, it'd be a great thing to be able to drop something from it. And, you know, Jeff Beck's got a big catalog, but I think he's the type of artist you got to be a fan. He's not the type that you're going to just, wow, I love Jeff. Like you can admire his playing, but you got to kind of sit down and strap in if you want to listen to him, because it doesn't all sound like Because We've Been His Lovers. And, you know, he might be credited with playing on Shapes of Things from the Yardbirds, but his catalog is very jazzy. So if you don't have a jazz palette, it might be a good intro, but it's very fusiony. It'd be like, you know, starting somebody off on Bitches Brew by Miles Davis. You know, it's a lot to take in. You're definitely not going to dance to this.
Very, very emotional player. Jay, I remember Howie and I were both up in Lake Placid when Jeff Beck passed away, and we got you on the Twitch stream.
Oh,
I think you did about 2 hours of that.
I did.
That night as a tribute when he passed, and because not much else to do up there in the snowy capital of the frozen tundra up there. Like, hey, I'm going to listen to Jay on Twitch.
Everything closed.
It was, yeah. And it was an ice storm, and that's beside the point. But no, I do remember you playing, and you had played some stuff I wasn't familiar with. I was kind of a casual Jeff Beck listener. I knew.
Yeah, he's one of these artists. Anytime you get instrumental, you know, it's very difficult because it's not always hummable. It's not always like, you know, and once the words go away, you got to kind of listen with a different ear. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not like dance music where you've got a beat in front of you. This oftentimes is changing timing. It's 7/8 sometimes. It's 4/4 once in a while.
Sure. The music's telling the story. There's no lyrics, so you really take your own interpretation, your own vision. You really need.
Yeah.
It's good
But
charisma.
that's
music.
sort of the beauty of instrumentals is you get to define what it is he's saying because it's different for each listener. So I just figured, with his anniversary coming up next week, revisit a little Jeff Beck, give him a little love. So that's my pick of the week. Jeff Beck, Wired, 76.
I wasn't sure if you were going to go with him or Lemmy for the anniversaries, but
well, we just celebrated. Yeah, sadly, we just had. December was a busy month on the anniversaries. Lemmy's been gone. What's it? 5 years now? 6 years?
Yeah, 5. I think.
Yeah. So, not to our rockers in the audience. Thank you guys for listening. Appreciate that. Let's go to BSR. See what. We're not going to make you go up and go to the wall again.
No, I got it right here. Just got it right here. So I'm going to give Eric some redemption here. If he can guess what artist I'm going to.
Is it pop music, Em? No, I'm just.
Yeah. No.
Shannon, Henry Grove.
Oh, no. Yes. Oh, yeah. How did you guess? Oh, that would have been killer. Also, we talked about synth pop the other night, and this is an artist that I would say is definitely synth pop. And when I first heard a song from this artist, I really liked it. And that was probably late 83, early 84. But then I liked the follow-up better. And it just kept getting better from there. And he's one of those dudes that if he's doing a concert and you just happen to go and you think, okay, I gotta get 2 or 3 songs this guy does. And then he's there and it's like the catalog is massive. It's much bigger than you remembered. It's one of those guys. Eric, anything?
Oh, just show it, will you?
I'm not sure. Guess Peter Gabriel. Peter Gabriel? No. Okay.
No,
not Peter Gabriel. Anybody else?
what are you saying? Yeah.
Synth pop 83, 84.
So solo artist, obviously. Not a band.
Mr. Howard Jones.
Howard Jones.
Wow.
Oh,
That fits.
Mr. Howard
I
Jones.
never would have guessed that. Yeah.
This is the Human Live album, and there are 2 notable tracks on this one, which are New Song, which is the first song I heard. I thought, well, this is really cool and different. But then the follow-up, What Is Love? I love
That's a great song. Such a
That
great
is a
song.
good song.
And incidentally, I heard the song for the first time in 1984 when I was having one of those Wonder Years moments with a young lady. So anyway, that's I'll leave it at that. But yeah, this album. But then it just kept getting better. So this is Dream into Action. Okay. And this one, dude, come on, get out of here.
Is that No One to Blame on that?
Check this out. Check this out.
Life in One Day is.
Things can only get better.
Yeah.
Life in One Day.
There you go. Hit.
No one is to blame.
Hit.
Yeah.
Like to Get to Know You Well. Who remembers that from
Like
Better
to Get
Off
to Know
Dead?
You well. Good one. Yeah.
Better Off Dead. The Camaro scene. Reason I bought a 68 Camaro back then.
Dancing hamburgers.
Yeah, absolutely. But the guy's catalog is just massive.
Yeah.
And you don't think about it until you start hearing him play, and he's good. He's really good live. You know, some guys they need that studio effect for their voice and for what. Now he can sit down at a keyboard and it's gorgeous, just absolutely gorgeous. So
Brian, I was just going to say, at some point, go on YouTube and look up Howard Jones live, and put in the name Nick Kershaw.
yeah,
They
wouldn't
did-
it be good? Yeah,
Yeah,
Be good to go.
they did a live set where it was Howard doing a bunch of his hits, but just acoustic piano, and Nick playing guitar. And the songs sound amazing with production, but like you say, he can do them acoustically, and they're amazing, just amazing.
there was a state fair show. It was like an 80s reunion thing. And Jody was with her, my friend Jody was with her first husband. And we decided to go. And the headliner was Culture Club. And we were so excited about seeing Culture Club.
Oh, wow.
And then we see that the opening act is Human League. So we're very excited about seeing
that'd be
Human
great.
League.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
my God. Yeah.
And then Howard Jones is the first opener. It's like, all right, whatever. So we sit through Howard Jones, and we get Human League, and then we get Culture Club. Howard Jones stole the night. opening for all of them because nobody saw it coming. Everybody knew what the Human League was going to do. Everybody knew what Culture Club was going to do. But I think everybody forgot how wonderful and how vast the catalog was of Howard Jones. It was absolutely amazing. We were pretty close. This goes back to probably, I don't know. I don't know if Stevie was even born yet. It was a long time ago, but it was really good. And it just left an impression on me. And shortly thereafter, I bought the greatest hits. And sure enough, there's only like probably 2 or 3 songs on his greatest hits that weren't in my lexicon. One of them is Conditioning, and I forget what the other one is, but no, just thought I'd bring him up. If you're not familiar with Howard Jones, do yourself a favor. He's really good. Check him out. Doesn't have an exciting rock star name. And aside from, this blonde haircut he has, here, he lost his hair and he's not a real exciting looking guy anymore. But man, I tell you what, choice stuff. He would have been great in any decade. He's a great songwriter. Sure. Songs are structured wonderfully. And just he knows how to write hits. Fun song.
Who remixed "Known Is to Blame"? Was it somebody did that Morgan Page maybe a few years ago, and had a really good dance track with it. Like totally turned it into 128 BPM like banger.
That's a beautiful song as a ballad.
It is, but it proved you can do it as a dance track too. It's one of those might be a good mix on the fly. Like you start with the ballad and
pick up the energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a very gifted singer, talented songwriter, piano player, keyboard. All his stuff was always on the radio. There was always a song, even that first 4 or 5 you mentioned on the second release. Was just hit after hit.
Banger after
that was
banger.
the sound. That was the synth pop sound that everybody wanted. And it's, that's where the classic sound.
He was in the background though. He wasn't like Duran Duran was right in your face. Everybody knew them and everybody knew, some of the other acts, but Howard Jones was kind of in the background. Like he wasn't the guy who the girls were wearing t-shirts for in high school, but his music was always there. It was kind of an interesting thing.
You go sit at that piano bar, that's the music you're going to hear. You're not going to hear Duran Duran or Thompson.
Right.
You're going to hear Howard Jones. Yeah. Super classy. Very elegant pick to close this up. So I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in and thank our wonderful panel and all your great picks of the week. Appreciate that. And we'll see you guys all in a week and we'll do another record roundup with your Road Dog.
Thank you, John.
With your Road Dog.
I have nothing.
DJ John from Boston.
next time.
Thank you guys.